Hi, this is Jaco from Builder.com. We're out in Point Reyes Station in West Marin. I'm here with Peter Waring and Terry Nordby at a project by an organization called CLAM. So Peter, tell us a little bit about what we're about to look at today.
Okay. So let me just preface this by saying that Terry has lived out here for years and been a general contractor. And he came to the CBPCA, the California Building Performance Contractors Association trainings in Sonoma County back in March and April, and had the opportunity to do both classroom work and do some field work there. And he came back home all excited about the new ideas he'd been learning about, and fortunately was involved with this affordable housing nonprofit, CLAM, who had just bought this house, which at the time was just a kind of dilapidated fixer-upper, and he decided to put his ideas about green home energy upgrades to work, to practice here, which is the ideal, being able to take what you learn in the classroom and put it to work in the field. And he has learned a whole lot, and he'd like to share some of that with your folks.
Okay. Well, great. And just so our viewers can identify, so what's your background and how did you come into getting involved with energy efficiency?
Well, my background is I've been a building contractor out here in West Marin, Point Reyes, Inverness, for almost 30 years and doing pretty much residential remodel. I've had some light commercial experience. Just doing traditional remodel, some new homes only in West Marin, and most of my experience is retrofit.
Now the project is by an organization called CLAM. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
CLAM has been in West Marin for, I think, 8 or 9 years, and it was a local grassroots organization put together by local citizens to purchase existing housing stock mixed in the community and somewhat subsidize it, and then return it back to the community as affordable housing.
What does it stand for?
Community, I should know, Community Land Trust of West Marin.
Okay.
And it really is a small grassroots organization. We get our money from, I'm on the board, we get our money from knocking on doors. We don't go to large foundations for money.
So it's community supported. Yeah. It's a community supported effort.
Yes.
Okay. Now I noticed it's for lower income or affordable housing. That's what it was.
It's I don't know exactly how the model works, but to qualify for the housing, you have to make 60% of the average mean income just to get an application for the housing, and the housing is it's reduced from typical local rents around here.
But the idea is to make energy efficient housing affordable. Is that kind of what it's kind of turning into?
That's cool. Yeah, that's right. That's what it's turned into. A year ago, it was about affordable housing, period. Now, CLAM, bless their hearts, have embraced energy efficient retrofitting, fixing up the houses to make them more energy efficient with their affordable housing. And the benefit of that is that the tenants also they get the benefit of a lower utility bills. And the goal also is now to make the houses last as long as possible. So we're using methods that increase the longevity of the house. Because CLAM it's a 7th-generation organization. The houses we're providing will be for your grandchildren and their children as affordable and energy efficient as well. So.
And this is a new way of thinking about the cost of things, because in the past, the old model, if you will, you would have kept your upfront costs down to a minimum, gotten the family in, they had the benefit of the house, but you would have ignored what the long-term costs both were in terms of operating costs, utility bills, gas and electric, and in terms of the comfort of the family, and in terms of the longevity of the house.
Right.
So taking the long-term view, like in terms of the lifetime of the house, it makes a lot more sense to really plan and execute your work, your remodeling work, much more carefully to make it a deep energy-saving structure. That makes it both more affordable in terms of operating costs, more comfortable, and the house will last a lot longer. So in taking the broader view, and not to mention the environmental impact.
Now we're standing outside the west side of the property, and I guess there used to be a fireplace here.
Correct.
You were mentioning.
There was a brick masonry fireplace.
Okay.
It was in this section over here. It came out about 2 feet went up through the roof, and then the hearth part was inside the building. And I convinced actually the CLAM board to take it out because it was such a heat loss and energy suck. And fireplaces are illegal anyway. You can't make fires in them. And it was kind of a struggle.
You can't make fires in Marin?
Not anymore.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Fireplaces, no, they're illegal. But the fact that CLAM was willing to spend the money to take out a fireplace was showing their commitment to saving energy. Because what we achieved was we took out all of that thermal, cooling, and it was actually some mold behind here, and we produced an insulated airtight wall instead of a fireplace that would suck heat forever.
One of the first things we noticed coming here is that the porch is actually detached from the house. So you're not getting rid of it, right?
No, this is one of my favorite parts of this house is, again, CLAM decided to spend the money energy upgrading rather than just making it look pretty. And we actually lifted the house up with the porch on it, did the foundation, and then we set it back down on these rollers here, and disconnected the porch from the house, and then rolled it off. And the reason being for that is that in order to achieve an airtight skin and a heated envelope and a thermal barrier, a non-broken thermal barrier on the heated envelope, we had to take the porch off. The porch would have just interfered with that. Mm-hmm. So you can see that behind this foam is an OSB skin that is sealed onto the framing. Mm-hmm. And I mean sealed. And then for the airtight barrier, and then there's the foam over that. When we're all done, we're going to use a rain shield.
Like something like Tyvek or something?
No, a rain shield is, on top of this will be basically put batts going down.
Uh-huh.
And then you put the siding over that, and you create an airspace behind it. It's also called
Rain screen.
A rain screen. Correct. Thank you. A rain screen. So what we do in this is we create the rain screen, put the siding on, we finish the whole outside of the house. Then we take the porch and just push it back up to the building, and it just kisses the building. It just rests there. So it won't be breaking any of the thermal bridging barriers.
It's probably good as well to prevent water intrusion, I can imagine.
Yeah, it'll be a airtight insulated shell, waterproof shell with a porch attached to it.
Well, that's really cool. Okay.
Yeah, I've never done anything like that.
Now we're all actually in the crawl space here. So Terry, tell us about the features, the things that you did. I noticed it's much higher than it was before. It looks like it's jacked up. And I see some ceiling, and tell us a little bit some of the other things around here.
To me, this is one of the most radical things I've ever done in a remodel. And the mission was to get it off the ground high enough so that, once again, thinking 7 generations, in the future, whoever comes in here to work on this will have a clean, comfortable space. And my feeling is, if you crawl into a place and it's hard to work in it, you're going to want to get the hell out and do a lousy job. So I know subcontractors are like that. So I want to make it an easy, accessible, workable space forever, so that whoever comes in will do a good job. More likely to. So the house used to be, the floor joist used to be about down to here. We raised it up 2.5